Hi everybody, welcome back to the Bierman vlog. We're going to do things a little bit different today. We are not going to put me on camera for a few minutes, but what you're looking at right now is the view from our backyard at the Lighthouse Point Resort in Bull Shoals, Arkansas. I was on the patio a few minutes ago, but it's a little close to Bull Shoals Marina, and they are having a party tonight, so you can hear a lot of music if I get too close. This is the front of our, not really a cabin, front of our cottage as they call it. It's got a front deck, and then the big window off to the right is our bedroom window that for the room Mark and I are staying in, which is great because it looks right out here every day onto the lake. And then as you see, as we go off looking this way, these are the cottages. They go, I believe, 2 through 9. Some of them adjoin together. And then over there is just a picnic area, and there is a pool. First, I want to go closer to the hill because I love this view. You know, people will say it's just a sunset, it's just grass, it's just green. Well, let me assure you, we do not have a lot of green in Florida, and it's hot. Well, this is Bull Shoals Lake, and we've been coming, let me rephrase that. We started coming to Bull Shoals when we were kids, at least the McCoy side of the family. Grandma and Grandpa McCoy brought us here every summer. Some of us more willing. I don't knew that Jason was very into it, but Nate seemed to like it, and I really liked it. They had their own trailer. It started out as a single wide, and then they traded it in, or whatever you do with the trailer, for a double wide. And they expanded on that, added an enclosed front porch, a deck, and of course Grandpa had a huge shed for the car. Now this is just the front of our cottage. It actually used to be the office, and now it is part office, part cottage. So they've locked the door that goes to the cottage, but this is where they have their washer and dryer and all the housekeeping supplies. And then they also have big deep freezers and a regular extra fridge for guests. And as we go up to the ramp, we're going into our backyard, which you currently have. You can hear all the cicadas. And these are the woods. They actually have a single boat access ramp at the bottom of these woods. We took the dogs and walked out there a couple times. They seem to like it. And then we had a grill. We grilled out for the first time in probably 7 years, because we've always lived in an apartment and haven't had the opportunity for a grill. And there's a lot of acorns or pecans or something coming from this tree. And hopefully the air conditioner isn't too loud. And then we've got this beautiful picnic table, which we have not sat at. All right, and here's me. I'm a little sunburned, but I just wanted to do a quick vlog and give you our opinion of this place. Like I said, I came here a lot as a kid, and I said one day I was going to bring my kids here because I love to hear. Grandma and Grandpa had a boat on the marina, a pontoon boat we always got to go out on, and really wanted to do that. So we came here this week. We've been here for 4 days. It took us 2 days to get here. We drove from Florida to Georgia, and then Georgia to Arkansas. And tomorrow we have a new adventure. We're going to the Smoky Mountains for 5 days. And that's just going to be me and Kylie, Mark and the dogs. We brought the dogs with us, and they did very well in the car for for the 10-hour drive on both days. And they did pretty well on the boat. The first day they were a little confused. They didn't know where to go to the bathroom. I think they were really worried about going anywhere, to be honest with you. Today they did a lot better. So, one thing I will tell you is, for those of you who have been here, this has not changed. This is the town that time forgot. Literally. Every sign has been here since I was 10 years old. So 38 years, the same signs are up everywhere. A lot of the same shops are here, but I will tell you, being the last week of July, I was very surprised there were not a lot of people here. So if you're looking for a peaceful, quiet vacation, I mean, for me, this was very quiet. I can't say it was peaceful, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But the weather starting yesterday was pretty good. The first day we were here was like 100 degrees, because everybody, of course, was experiencing a heat wave. But we made it. We rented this cottage. It has 2 full bedrooms, one with a king-size bed, one with a double bed, and then a bunk bed in it. And then if you go downstairs, it is 4 bunk beds, or 2 sets of bunk beds, and then a twin bed, I believe. Ethan decided to stay down there because it was cooler down there. And I will say it was kind of interesting. This place is called Lighthouse Point Resort. I'm pretty sure it's been here since the 80s. It looks like it's been here since the 80s, and I'm sure I've seen the sign many times coming here with my grandparents. But it's not a horrible resort. I will say, if you were fans of the show Ozark, it could have been shot here. We were just waiting to pull down a wall and find a stack of money. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. The marina itself is a lot different than it was 25 years ago, which is to be expected. It's a little bit smaller. It doesn't look to be as busy. Not a lot of tourists as I could tell, but it was interesting. There were a lot of regulars in there when we went in, picking up their boats, and just, everybody knew each other, which I like. I like that there's still people here who know each other. I mean, everybody knows everybody. So when we rented this cottage, we also had a boat that came with it. It was a pontoon boat, and unfortunately, just like these cabins, it's very outdated. And for the cabins themselves, or the cottages, I'm sorry, I keep calling them cabins. I think they're more considered a cottage. I will say they were clean. The only complaint I could have about it is I wish there were maybe some Zevo fly traps plugged in, because there are, a lot of the flies, especially if you're coming and going. It has a sliding glass door, and the front door, the entire screen was broken, so they ended up cutting that out yesterday. So we couldn't actually have the door open like tonight when it's really nice. We still have the air conditioner on. And I will say as well, the dishes that they give you, they're probably 30 years old as well. We didn't use a lot of it because they simply were, there were some that were so stained with grease. I'm pretty sure I might have found a rat dropping in the cupboard. So I did wash the things we did cook. I made sure to wash the dishes 3 or 4 times before we used it. And the grill also has seen better days as far as cleaning goes, but I made hamburgers, and Kylie said they were the best burgers she's ever eaten from me that I've made. So I was happy that I didn't burn them. Now, the boat itself, it was a pontoon boat, which, small things make me happy. My grandparents had a pontoon boat. We were running a pontoon boat, so I was pretty excited. However, the pontoon boat also looked like it was about 30 plus years old. The seats were all ripped. It almost looked like Freddy Krueger had taken his claws and clawed at several different pieces of the furniture on the boat. The floor had a carpet, and anybody who was on Grandma and Grandpa's boat, carpet is horrible. Grandma and Grandpa took that carpet up a long time ago. I wish these people had it as well. The carpet looked like somebody literally took a dump on it and rubbed it all over. So obviously we were getting in the water, so we did what we had to do. If we had to walk on it to leave our shoes on to get the water. We did it. But other than as being aesthetically pleasing, it was a good time. Everybody had fun. We ate at a couple of restaurants. We've been on the boat a couple times. So, but here's where I would say some negative things about the vacation. And I guess I shouldn't say negative, but I will say different. So coming to Bull Shoals, Arkansas, or Mountain Home is a closest city, Mountain Home or Lakeview. So if you're looking on the map, that's kind of where we're close to, and we're right on Bull Shoals Lake. I will say the hardest part of coming now as an adult is, as an adult, you are the person driving the car. It is a long drive, no matter where you're coming from. Coming from Iowa, I believe it was like 10 or 11 and a half hours. And Grandpa, didn't faze him. He drove most of it, if not all of it. I don't remember Grandma driving very much for the drive here, but I drove most of the way. Mark took over a couple times, but I drove most of the time, which was an accomplishment for me because I usually fall asleep after a half hour or start to nod off. So I was happy I made it as long as I did. The hotel that we stayed at it was in Montgomery, Alabama, or Montgomery, Georgia. I'm sorry, I keep getting them mixed up. But it was clean, it was spacious, it was nice to stay for one night. So if we decided to do this trip again, I think that was a good plan, is to stop halfway. I might have gone a little bit further because we did leave. We did have a lot of extra time the first day, and then it took us about 11 hours to get here. No, maybe less, maybe 10. To get here on Tuesday. So we stocked up on groceries at night, and tonight we just tried to eat everything we had left. We had cinnamon rolls for dinner. We had biscuits for dinner. We had eggs for dinner, and got most of everything out of the fridge, which is another negative I would say of being the adult in this situation is I had to feed everybody. I had to cook for everybody. So that was painful because you're not the kid. You don't get to sit back and let Grandma do everything, even if she wouldn't have ever accepted help anyway, because she liked to do things on her own. But Grandma cooked for us. Grandma cleaned. Grandma did the laundry. Grandma did the grocery shopping, everything. She got the snacks ready for the boat. She got the towels for the boat, and so everything like that I was doing myself this time. So I felt kind of bad that I didn't help my grandma out more as a kid, because it's a lot. It's a lot to remember. We got to bring the sunscreen, we got to bring the towels, we got to bring the snacks, we got to bring the cooler, get to the dock, rent the boat. But I think it was a success. I'd like to do it again. I wouldn't mind if we stayed here again. It's not horrible, but I'd be interested in maybe a bigger space, maybe even a Airbnb. If you know of any near Bull Shoals Lake, please let me know. But I'd love to bring my extended family out and just kind of have like a Arkansas reunion for all the kids who got to go to Arkansas as kids. And I say kids, we're not kids, we're in our 40s. So, Nate and Katie and Stephanie and Aaron and Chelsea, Caleb. I'd love to have them all, just have a big reunion here. Get a couple boats and go out on the lake. The lake looks the same. The lake smells the same. Arkansas smells the same. I know that sounds weird. It's just Arkansas has this very distinctive smell. Like I said, it's the land that time forgot. Everything is still the same. There's a lot of hole-in-the-wall places. There were a lot of land development on the way here that wasn't here 25 years ago, but nothing crazy. And it's interesting to see that the town has not changed at all. We even saw deer in town last night. I think it was 4:30. We ran to the grocery store, and there were 10 deer just in the middle of town, because there's not that many people in town anymore. And it used to be a lot of high traffic. So that's a recap of what the Biermans have been up to for this week. Next vlog will hopefully include things from the Smoky Mountains. Try to put some clips on our Beerman Vlog Instagram. So if you don't follow that, please check that out. I will add clips, videos, and pictures from our trip. Honestly, the view of the lake is great. I'm always pinning different places to go to that look exactly like this. If you look at my personal Pinterest board, it looks exactly like Arkansas. So, other than that, yeah, our next adventure is the Smoky Mountains. We're leaving tomorrow morning. Ethan and Olivia want to leave at 2 o'clock in the morning because it's, I think, an 8-hour drive for them. So they would get home early enough in the morning to just spend the whole Saturday doing stuff. I don't know what kind of stuff, but they said they're leaving at 2. We'll see. We're going to try to leave at 7 because unfortunately we do have a little longer stretch this time. It's, I think, 10.5 hours. We rented a cabin in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and then we're there for 5 days, and then we're going to drive home to Florida, and that's also a 10-hour drive. But like I said, the dogs have been troopers. They love the car ride, so they are really enjoying themselves. They like to be included, and I'm glad that we did take a vacation that we can include them. So thank you for listening and following along. I hope you liked the views in the beginning of the video, and I hope you like the pictures on Instagram. I guess that's it for now. See you soon.